Right, hello and welcome, my name's Jay. I buy and sell on eBay UK. Each and every week I put out videos to what's sold and what's not sold. I've been away this week and the shop was on holiday mode and it's been mad. There's only 2 segments of sales that you see, but there's over 60 sales. So over 10 per day with the shop being away, most of them being towards the end of the week, obviously payday and so forth. So yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. If you do like the content, please give us a thumbs up. More importantly, if you can consider subscribing to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And if you've got any comments, please feel free to put them down below. But without further ado, I'm going to turn you around and show you what's sold. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Friday, fresh off of holiday. I say holiday, it was a little 4-day fishing trip. We caught some fish, we got caught in a bit of rain as well, which wasn't great, and I've sold some bits, so yeah, happy days. About half of what I would normally sell, so having the shop on holiday mode does have an effect on what you sell and what you don't sell at the end of the day. Starting over here, got this BP wagon, don't get this that often, or tanker even, it is a longer one, I sold for £30. I've then got a Magical Mystery Tour. It's the Hornby Beetles range. The bit that fits the connector onto the coupling on there is broken. I think that sold for $14.99. 2 lots of these poor condition wagons, they sold £13 each. Some points sold for $12.99. A diesel locomotive body shell there, that sold for $9.99. A Engage coach, I've got 3 of these, quite nice things, quite nice condition there. I've had them forever, sold for $11.99. I've then got a Pendolino dummy car that sold for $44.99. A Garage Mania tape pack that sold for £25, quite a rare one that. These containers there on the flatbed, they sold for, I think it's only about 19-20 quid there or thereabouts. Stand Hornby controller, a teak 4-wheel coach. The controller sold for $19.99. This sold for $9.99. I believe that's a Bachmann wagon of some sort, so that sold for £8. 2 of these Midland mainline, is it? Coaches, they sold for $24.99 each. This buyer bought 3 lots of points off of me. I think he paid in the region of about 13-14 quid each, combine the postage as always. A teak coach, a Virgin coach. Teak coach sold for £12, a Virgin coach sold for £24-ish. Another standard Hornby controller that sold for $19.99. One of these new boxed accessories, these are fowls, I paid £10 for them. This sold for $16.99, so might be a couple of quid profit in that one. A body shell of some sorts that sold for a tenner. These tunnel portals there, they sold for $9.99. I've then got some of these magnetic couplings, they sold for $14.99. That is the last I've got of those. This buyer's bought 4 packs of these Engage platforms and the ends for the platforms there as well. I believe he paid about £12 each, and again I combined the postage for them. A part for a remote control car, but I think I might have got the part number wrong on this, unless it supersedes. I've got a 5 on the end of mine, this has got a 9 on it. I've checked, I've not got no more. I'm going to send it to the buyer, and at the end of the day, if it is the wrong one, I'll just pay for the postage to get it back. And I must update, I've got another one of these, I must update the listing on that as well. And then last but not least, I've got an Innovation tape pack. This is going abroad, that sold for $24.99. So yeah, 25 sales in total, happy to have them. I have got a lot of work to be getting on with now. I want to get a lot of the collection that I've purchased listed up, especially the locos. As you know, when I buy a collection, I try and get whatever I paid out listed that day, so I can get my money back as quick as possible and then effectively reinvest that into other things. I've had a lot of things turn up while I've been away as well, so I will have to do an individual video on that for you. Anyway, I'm waffling on. I'm going to quickly get this little lot packed up even, then I'm going to get on to some testing of locos and some listing the locos. So I'll update you on Sunday now as to what I sell Saturday, Sunday. Cheers. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Sunday, and it has been absolutely manic. I went to do my labels, 38 in total I had to do. That's yesterday and today sales wise. I'm going to try and get through them really quick. Got 2 of these oval track packs. One sold for $26.99, the other one sold for $25 on an offer, I believe. Got a couple of standard Hornby controllers there. They sold for $19.99 each, or grey packets as far as you're concerned. Got some poor condition coaches in there. They sold for $14.99. So I'm having to clear this here. Only listed this today, one of these longer points that sold for £10.99. And then I've got this wagon pack there that sold for £22. I've then got some older steel track there in the box. There is some extra track in there as well. That sold for $14.99. One of these red Wagons there. Hopefully you can see it. That sold for £10. I've got some remote control car parts that sold for £45. This was a result because I bought 3 cars and they come with a load of parts. It transpired the parts were worth what I paid for the car. So just listed these today, just started selling these, £45. Happy with those. Then I've got this 040, what is it, Southern 63, that sold for $24.99. Got 2 of these Beatles wagons. Pretty sure you have to excuse my hands, I've been painting, so I've got all paint over them. I believe, if I show you them there, they sold for about between £15 and £20 each. I can't remember the exact number. Got another one of these BP wagons. It is a longer one. This was from the collection that I bought last week that you saw yesterday. That sold for £27. Another standard Hornby controller. This buyer bought 6 of these DJS wagons. They worked out to about a £5 each. I've got so many of them, I was just happy to get rid of them. Some more poor condition wagons. They sold for £13. Similar thing in this bag. Can't see it, it's pointless showing you it, but there is some coaches and so forth in there. They sold for £14. Another wagon there. That sold for $9.99. Standard Hornby controller with no power, that sold for £10. Same with the power tracks, they sold for £10 as well. I've got a load, oh, he says as he nearly drops a dummy car. A load of wagons here, which is nice because I've got so many wagons in stock. They sold for about £10 each. Another Midland mainline coach, I believe that's my last one. That's going to Australia again. I think it's the same guy that bought the other ones. $29.99. Dummy car, $26.99. 2 of these unnamed Pullman coaches. They sold for £10 each. I've then got 2 shunters. One is a poor runner, one is a good runner. One sold for 30, one sold for 20 to the same buyer. I've got a... what is this? This is from the collection that I picked up, but I believe it needs a repair. It's a loco of some sort and it's sold for 60 quid. Needing a repair, so happy with that. Similar sort of thing with this one. He says this is a Flying Scotsman. I think I showed you it needed a repair. That sold for £50, so happy with that. A Rutland, is it? I think I showed you that. That's from the collection I've just picked up. Rutland, I think that sold for £26. Another coach sold for a tenner. I promise you I am getting there. I've got a GNER power car, but it does need a repair on the pantograph. The pantograph is broken. That sold for £40. Got a record that's buried underneath there. That sold for a tenner. Another 2 wagons there that sold for a tenner each. Those ones there. Oh, it's just so much. It's actually overwhelming because I haven't got to send them out today, but I will. I've got another diesel shunter there. It does need a repair. That one that sold for, I think it's £15. Another 060 there, I think it's a Ginty. It sold for £15. Got a remote control car motor there. That sold for £26. Some R605s, they sold for $9.99. And last but not least, some more power clips sold for a tenner. So yeah, it's just been absolutely manic. And I'm happy with it. I really am. It's now about 7 o'clock. This video is probably going to come out on Monday now, not Sunday. So yeah, I'm going to get this little lot wrapped up. If you do like the content, please give us a thumbs up. More importantly, if you can consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. And as ever, if you've got any comments, please feel free to put them down below. Cheers.